This is Tom Biernacki. I've put out about 500 videos on educational content, but I've never done a video about myself. So I was on a podcast recently, and the person's like, "You're crazy. You're not really connecting with your audience." I want to tell you guys about some big changes in my life and how it affects this channel. So number one, I am having my fourth kid right now. So it's a crazy time in my life. It's extremely busy. I've got a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and we've got a baby that's due in about a couple months right now. And number two, I've done something extremely crazy with my life. For the past 10 years or so, I have worked for large hospital systems. I have worked for large clinic systems. I have worked like crazy doing a lot of surgery. And specifically as a podiatrist, like, hey, does a podiatrist even do surgery? A lot of people, in the comments, they're not really sure what a podiatrist is. So let me tell you a little bit about myself before I tell you about my life change. Essentially, I was born in Poland. I grew up in Poland, and I had some family history where my grandparents were fairly high up in the government. And as a result, there was some political turmoil. So we had to escape in the middle of the night. We lived in Germany, and then we moved to Canada. And as years went by, eventually I went to medical school in Cleveland in the United States. And then I did a surgical residency for 3 years in Ann Arbor, in Michigan. And then I did some further fellowship training in Texas and in Chicago, learning from some of the best surgeons and practitioners around the country. So my goal was always to be like an extraordinary surgeon and take great care of people. And I should mention, at the University of Windsor, I also played football, and I worked on a master's degree in biochemistry and kind of nutritional stuff. So that's why I go off topic in a lot of those videos. I've always been involved in a lot of research stuff. So that's why sometimes I get off topic. For the last 10 years, I have done thousands of procedures, thousands of surgeries. And the second I got out of my training, I realized, man, the medical system is broken. The only thing people wanted to focus on is how expensive it is, and insurances and these large organizations essentially put all emphasis on just this. I would say such a small percentage of my time actually went towards helping the people, which is crazy because the patient, all they do is want help. And doctors, and most doctors I know, all they want to do is help people. But now in America especially, there's something crazy, like 20 administrators per one doctor in the United States. That includes like insurance people, that includes government people, that includes hospital people. Since 1970, the cost of healthcare has grown exponentially, like 30 times, but physician care has only grown like 2 or 3 times. Where is that difference in cost? Well, it's administrators. There is about 35 times the growth of hospital administrators. That's not just the cost, but the amount of administrators per person actually providing care. But let's take a look at salaries. So the administrator salary has grown over 30%, whereas the doctor salary has barely kept pace with inflation. In fact, in some years, it's below inflation. So doctor salaries are technically actually decreasing over time, whereas hospital costs are going up exponentially. But if you look at the ratio, there is such a small percentage of care actually being provided by doctors. All other attention goes towards this healthcare system. And as I get into these healthcare systems, normally there's simple, easy solutions like life changes, like addressing basic lab tests, things that people are doing that would make a massive difference in their life. But guess what? There's no money in these solutions. So that's the crazy part. No matter where I worked, the emphasis has always been more procedures, more surgeries, refer them for these services, boom, boom, boom. And legitimately, if doctors do not do this, they don't meet their RVU expectations, and these large organizations fire doctors. And what's even crazier, not only do you get fired, but doctors now are like $500,000 in debt when they graduate. And then number two, not only are these doctors heavily in debt, but when they work for a hospital or a large organization, and this has happened to me, we sign non-competes where essentially we have to pick up our family and move away. So essentially, if you as a doctor do not play ball, your life is ruined. So I have seen this happen to so many doctors. The graduation rate from medical school through residency and actually keeping your first job is like nothing. And as a result, I see doctors, huge depression rates, huge suicide rates. The financial reward is not there for a lot of doctors. So where am I going with this? I'm not trying to dissuade anybody from getting healthcare, but the point I'm making is I decided to start my own clinic. I think with all the technology changes and the huge feedback I've seen on this channel, and I gotta thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys, the viewers, you have made such a meaningful difference to me that without this YouTube channel, I don't think starting my own practice would be possible. I have had so many patients come to my clinic and follow me around. This is what's given me the confidence, because today in 2024, I might be clinically insane to be trying to open my clinic. There's hardly any people that can afford to do it. I think I've already spent like over $100,000 just to start getting credentialed and getting the basics up and running. But that being said, I am extremely optimistic. I have lived and breathed all the medical changes, and I'm gonna bust my butt and working here on YouTube to provide what doctors really wanna be doing. What I really wanna be doing is helping people. So through my clinic and through the channel here, I'm gonna try and mix them together so that I can achieve my dream of helping people and not gouging them for huge amounts of money. What I'm gonna be doing is, on this channel, I'm gonna keep doing my educational videos, but I'm gonna start up a couple new things. There's gonna be some basic courses. They're gonna be non-medical, but basically all the stuff that I think would benefit people. I'm gonna have my 30-day course, for example, to turn your health around. That's coming out soon. And I've also signed a book deal with 2 books coming out. So I'm gonna tie that all together. I think I'm gonna be able to start a new clinic with these changes, with all these streams of patients and collaboration, where we could break free of the broken health system and start providing simple care where it's the patient and the doctor, and we can get rid of the 20 administrators, maybe get it down to like 15 administrators at the very least. This is gonna be a separate channel. I'm gonna call it like a vlog episode. So in the corner in square brackets, it'll say vlog, and I'm gonna go over my journey starting the clinic. I'm gonna go over the real boots to the ground. I am a real doctor. I see patients every single day. I take care of patients, and this is real to me. I'm not like a fitness influencer. I have had patients die. I do these surgeries. This means so much to me. So I wanna thank you guys. You make such a big difference for me on this channel. And the way you can keep helping me, keep watching the videos, keep giving the likes, smash that like button, share these videos as much as possible. And I hope together we can take this journey of revolutionizing healthcare, writing some great books, and making some great courses to help people around the world and not gouge them for money, because this is what medicine should be. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys.